crying on stage, the crowd's crying amazed. I'm independent to them, but I'm in, and that's how my name is Jack. I'm in the city tormented, cause they promised me fame. Please don't blow up, don't go my way, don't go my way. I said please don't blow, but when I'm finished on the album, no, I'll have
and welcome to another episode of Mellow Talk, the best underground show in the fucking world. Excuse my French. We have a special guest. Jack motherfucking Mansion in the building, baby. In the building. Introduce yourself. Just do you, bruh. Introduce yourself.
Jack. Thank you. Yeah, I'm Jack. I make so much because I have to. And you know, painting, music, and that's, I mean, you know, I make it all. I don't even know.
Yeah, a whole bunch of skills and talent, all jumbled into like one thing, dude. It's a cool thing. So, you know, first question for you: who was JackMansion? Where did it all begin? Where did it all begin for you, bro?
Began, okay.
Oh.
My bad, bro.
Good.
My roommate left. Yeah. Okay, so the beginning of JackMansion. Well, shit. I was at my dad's house, pulling over some. If we're talking in a literal sense, the birth of the name. Me and Ruby were pulling over it at my dad's house. Back when we both had Lil in the name.
Yeah.
We decided we needed something a little bit more real. So I was looking around and we were like, there's a lot of like mansions around here, like not where we live, but a little bit away, like in Mission Hills, hella mansions. And I was like, that seems just about perfect. You know, my real last name's Minor. Felt a little too different, but I like my first name. You know, not that I don't like my last name, but wanted a little disconnect. There we go, JackMansion.
Fire ass name though. Fire ass name. Oh God.
I've gotten hella compliments. People just call me that. Like when I got to art school and shit, people would just be like, "Yo, JackMansion. It's 7 JackMansions." You know.
Dude, that's so fucking sick. That's so sick when they call you by your artist name too. That's crazy. It's a crazy thing, dude. Holy shit.
It'll throw me off. It's like, but yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. So for your next question, like, since starting like your creative journey, like what have you learned about yourself? Like, how much have you grown since, you know, starting it?
Fuck. Bro, I could talk forever about that one. Like, just like, in terms of just creative decisions, the amount of things that I've picked up on, whether it be like musically, you know, started understanding. I was like, I want to make songs. I mean, the amount of different, you go through those like millions of different reasons you make art, you know, as you do it. Right. You know, sometimes you're just trying to get emotions out there. Sometimes you do really want to convey a message. Sometimes with songs, it's just like, I want to make a song that I want to listen to. This is the type of shit I want, you know. I don't want a chorus, you know. Sometimes you don't want that. But you learn a lot. I learned a lot of stuff like that. And I mean, just stuff about myself too. There's like things you just kind of like, as you're writing and kind of like streaming your consciousness onto words or something else, you kind of figure certain things out. Just about the way you think, and you can kind of relate it to your own life. And if you do the thought, it can be like a crazy, like introspective experience, just making stuff.
And like the crazier part is, it's like when you're writing shit down, it's like you're not even really thinking it through. Like for me, like I just let it flow, and I just type that shit out on my phone, or I just write it down, and it'll just come straight out. And it's just be like, damn, this is how I really think, because that's like how the mind works and shit. It's wild.
Yeah, and it's really cool because I've been I'll write raps on the phone, But just being in art school and shit, I'll walk around with a sketchbook, and that feels like its own world because
Yeah.
you don't have to type it. Like you can just write it however you want, and you can draw something out if you need to see it, and like you can write like this bit here and this bit over here and this bit sideways and all that stuff.
And that's also sick too that you dive into multiple mediums. Like you're probably the first like actual like artist that I've had on the show. And for good reason too, because like your art pieces are fucking top tier. Like I really enjoy your artwork. And like a good question for you would be like relating to like how do you create between music and like actual art pieces and painting? Like how do you approach it being in different mediums?
Yeah. That's been like a journey off and on. I mean, I used to have like this rule that I wouldn't listen to my own music because like I have to, you have to listen to like rough drafts and stuff over and over just to get like kind of a feel, and you hear it with new things. And I used to not do that while making art because I thought it got in the way. I've since kind of merged them, and sometimes you'll see like lyrics pop up on a painting, or painting like words, like a title of a painting pops up as like a bar, and sometimes they're very intermingled like that. And sometimes I've used paintings or sketches as album covers or promo stuff. So I do like to collage them. Like the more I've learned, the more I learn ways that I can kind of swap them over.
And that's like so sick that it's like you jumble them together, and you do it like a really good job at it too.
Thank you.
Like a really fucking good job. And it's like the art pieces, like they like mash with the vibes that you go with your songs or what you're trying to promote and shit. Like it's just so dope. It's so dope.
Thank you, bro. That's what I've heard, and I kind of try that shit too. But.
Yeah, dude, it's so sick. It's so sick. So onto like artwork. Like I actually like I actually like look up art pieces and stuff. Like I don't mind like reading up on certain painters and shit. And one painter that I really think about when I see your artwork, I don't know if you've heard of him before or if you took influence from him, but Jean, how do you spell his name? I think Jean-Michel Basquiat. Have you heard of him before?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dude, like his artworks are so like it's like yours, but like it's so crazy. Like I don't know how to describe it, dude.
I would say, I mean, Basquiat, when I started, he was like a crazy influence to me because I just liked especially how he would write words, and the way everything he would paint looked so almost like a blueprint or like a diagram sometimes, and I really like that shit. So I do take influence in that ways, and I've heard a lot like Basquiat, like people say that, so I've like done more research and stuff, and I do really like it. And I think even talking about it now, I remember seeing this video of him spray painting something, and I think that was my intro to him. And I remember really liking, I saw this clip of him explaining how he likes to draw things that like he like makes to look like he likes to make things look like a child drew. And I love that. So
and it is so sick too because it's a straight raw emotion, and he's just displaying it out without like no context or everything. It's like for you to interpret how it is.
For sure. And I'd say I definitely take some inspiration from him, but in my own ways I do influence like my art, and I do think there's like a noticeable, I mean, some pieces I do look very Basquiat. I'm looking at this thing on my like thing, but
that's why I was like wondering on it. Because like, it was very interesting, and I wanted to know like what you thought on it because it's just like how closely resembled everything. It was just like your own twist to it.
For sure.
I fuck with it.
And what I would say is my line. Probably, especially when I draw, my line is a lot like Basquiat, but when I paint, I do think that I think it is a little bit more. Sometimes I like rigid stuff, but usually when I paint, it's either very sharp lines or it's like a kind of a constructed, like, I like to slap the paintbrush on it over and over.
I
but so it's like blended and like rough looking, but. Yeah.
Dude, you should do like a time lapse of you doing a painting, bro.
Yeah,
That'd be
that's
so
what
fire.
I've been wanting to do that for so long. I used to do like lives and stuff, but I have
Yeah.
this like weird feeling like I'm cursed. Like every time I feel like I set up a camera to paint or something like that, it like to document the process, or even like once I remember I took a video on my phone and recorded it and tried to like do one of those TikToks where you like sign it and then pull your phone
Yeah.
away and show the piece. I tried that and I completely fucked the signature up. Like I just can't do that shit on camera. So it's like I'm trying to learn. That's one of those things, you know. I'm not trying to like be stuck in that because that would be such a
Yeah.
cool thing to be able to post. But like right, it like fucks me up. But, yeah.
Right, right, right. So that's your artwork stuff. Onto your music. Now,
Yeah.
oof, audience. Oh my god, audience, bro. If you guys are in here and you watching this shit right now, and you not listen to this motherfucker, bro. Oh my god. Listen up, bro. Search up JackMansion on SoundCloud before we actually start talking onto this music. All right. Now that you're back,
Spotify too,
okay,
Spotify. You got it everywhere.
and Spotify too. Now on your back, I want to talk about your one album. Now, back in 2021, I listened to a little bit of it, but I got so freaking busy with school and shit, I just forgot to listen to the rest of it. And I've been listening to that shit now more, and holy smokes, Bone Rap. Please tell me,
Bone Rap.
you went through that shit, dude. Because that is the most goated album you've ever made.
Thank you, bro. That so I've never put like a lot of effort into like a ton of song, you know, musical project before that. I've done EPs, little things like that, but yeah, no, nothing that big. So that was like a step, and I thought at the time I was making this really like not ethereal, but it was, I mean, the stuff around it that was dropped was very, I want to say wet is what I want to say, but it's like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I get what you mean, yeah.
Bone Rap's dry, everything else was wet. And so Bone Rap was like kind of just, I wanted to deconstruct it and just break it down. So I just started, and I was just like, you know, through the process of that, there were a million moments that were like beautiful, and I wish I had a camera to just play them, because there were some like beautiful creative moments of like the first and last song. Me, David Soren, and one other friend of ours that actually moved to Hawaii. Shout out Nick if he's listening. But he was there, and we played. David played the beat for what's now Hype 2, and Soren played the beat for now The End of My World.
I remember that song, yeah.
And they both played them back to back. That beat was the first beat David or Ark found on his computer. I think the first beat he ever like posted or something like that. And I was like, I gotta hop on this because this is so bare bones, like bone rap.
God, fire as hell.
And Ruby's was like, I was like, he was like, this is the stupidest beat I've ever made. And I was like, bone rap. I was like, sounds like the exact end of the album, and I'm gonna just figure out, I bet I could flow on it, bro. And I did, and I recorded on it a couple weeks later when I was in Gulf Shores, Alabama with my stepbrother, and like he had those like intermediate verses on that shit, and like, I mean, that album was a trip to make.
That album was so fire, bro. It is so fire from start to finish. I fucking enjoyed the shit out of it.
Thank you.
And my favorite song out of the entire album, 8th Grade, 100%. Really, yes, 8th Grade. Lyricism wise, you spat.
Yeah, bro.
You spat.
That shit. Oh my god. I remember I wrote that and I was in a haze. I was just about this girl that I had never talked to, and I was like a junior in what was it? It was a something. I think I was a junior in high school, and she I'd never talked to her, and I was just like, it was about that, and it was like, I'm trying to remember, how did I come on that shit? It was like,
It was like, come on,
I remember the flow.
The flow was so catchy. It was just,
crying,
and it was no beat.
Crying amazed. That's what
it was just no beat. It was just straight verse. It was just straight verses, dude. Like all you went with was just a sample, and the sample was so fire.
Exactly. I was going crazy. I felt I was like some on like my Earl shit. I mean, I was like,
On God.
it was
On some
crazy.
like Tyler the Creator shit, bro. This straight
Yeah.
spitting out of nowhere. And bro, audience, watch it. Or
You
listen to it, dude. Listen to it, please. It's good.
Go.
It's good. Start to finish.
It's
I
crazy. I
promise
sent
you.
it to Fantano. Never heard back.
Oh
If
my.
Fantano's listening,
Yes.
ball that's on that. But I'm playing, bro. Please.
Oh
But
God, get on the show, bro. But
But,
dude, it was an awesome
I-
album.
thank you. A fun fact about that is it's actually, I want to say it's like 18 minutes or something. I remember trying to make it the exact distance. My parents are divorced, so there's like a drive between my mom's and dad's. I would go back every couple days or whatever.
Yeah.
And that drive was about 20 minutes, and I was trying to make it like, I mean, it changes on the day, but I mean, I remember like when I had all the songs together, I played it, left my house, and I got to my dad's house right as it was ending, and I was like, yep, and that's how I knew I did it. I was like, this is the perfect order, amount of
Dude.
songs. I was like, this is
Yeah.
it. It's the perfect
That is so
distance.
sick, dude. That is so sick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was crazy.
awesome album. Go listen to it. It's fire. And
True.
onto other music stuff related to you.
Mm.
Them DIY shows with Ruby's Boy,
Yeah.
Ark, all those guys. You guys, and I'm like to the audience to give some context. If you watched the prior video on Ruby's Boy, we talked about them have a lot of you guys having underground DIY shows and shit.
Yeah.
In Kansas and shit. What you guys are doing down there is pretty crazy shit.
Yeah. We
And I want to know like what went into it, like from your perspective too, as well, like
Right.
doing those shows.
So yeah, with the shows and shit, that was like, I honestly forget how the idea came up, and I don't know that if Ruby mentioned exactly how it came up, but at one point, me, Ruby, and Ark, we all decided basically at one point, and fuck, I'm trying to remember, but Ruby definitely, I think he had the idea for the stage for sure. And I mean, bro, all props to him, because he fucking, what's that shit? The forefront. He was like general of the army type shit. Like he was running that scene.
He was
like,
running and shit.
all
Yeah, because
props to him.
what he
Like,
told me was that all
great.
y'all just came together and stuff, and was
Yeah.
just talking about it, and we was just like, we should just
For
do a
sure.
show. and
But
shit.
yeah, and it was like we were all talking. We were like, because we were pissed. This place called the Roxy, they wouldn't let us in for a show, do a show, and then they closed down with COVID, and we were like,
Ah, shit.
fuck, bro. So I was like, I had an amp, or not an amp, the PA
Speakers.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first we were just running it, powering it with my car, and yeah, I brought that. I had my microphones because my dad like has some like music stuff, and he was like, "Of course you can use it," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Thank you," and but like I just don't want to discredit Ruby, because what he did to make a lot of those happen, coordination wise, and just like, I mean, getting the people together and really like motivating everyone to spread the word.
Yeah.
He did a phenomenal job, and we probably wouldn't be where we are right now without, just him taking that leadership.
Yeah, and that initiative.
For real.
And just
Real.
doing it. And it's awesome, because now you guys are like actually like building up the Midwest underground, and I'm fucking with
For
it.
real. We're like, and it's seeming like week after week, it's just new things pop up, and it's like, I feel like this is really taking fruition. And it was this
Right.
dream that I kind of knew in my heart. I was like, feels like the only way. But like, there was always doubt and stuff, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's just feeling more solidified as the days go on. And like,
Yeah.
with this like show coming up in March, if you're in the KC area, the Big House, me and
Big
like
House.
11 other artists, we're gonna be
Oh,
doing a
shit.
show, Waffle
That's
Bar.
fire. That was
Yeah, you saw that?
yeah, I did see that. I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you about that. So how did you get into that? Like, you just contacted the dude?
I mean, that one is Rambo. I was surprised. Nigel, Orv, he
Oh, Orv. Oh shit.
Yeah. He was like talking to me. He was talking to this guy Aiden. He's kind of putting the show together, and I've known Aiden since I was in high school, but I don't know that I've ever even met him in person. You know, I've always just kind of talked to him, and I knew he made music, and I was like, his shit's cool, and like, but I never, you know, thought he'd be throwing the shows. So, you know, yeah, Nigel got in contact with him and was like, yeah, I want you, Soren, David.
Yeah, because I saw you and a couple of their names too on there. That's gonna be fucking sick.
Yeah.
When is it gonna be? In March?
March 25th, Saturday.
25th.
Fuck, I want to say it starts. It's I have to look at the poster. I think music starts at 9.
But
yeah, because I'm on at 9:25. So yeah, music starts like
depending on the situation, depending on my situation, I might hop down there because
yeah.
I got a homie in April who has a show, Andrew Snakes.
Oh, that'd be
fucking
sick. Oh yeah,
goat.
Andrew Snakes.
Dude, he's a
Oh yeah, right.
Bro, he is 15. He is 15. Bro, he's 15 making. Bro, he is fire.
That shit he did with Ruby was crazy. That's what.
Bro, the shit that he did with Ruby's Boy and Internet Dystopia, bro. Oh my god, bro. Listen to Art Sucks by him, bro. That shit is fire. Top tier. And I'm glad he's doing a show. He's doing the show in April, audience. But I was thinking about, you know, when I figure out my situation and shit, to go drive around to see all y'all and do editorials on the fucking on the concerts and do vlogs, cause I have a vlog kit.
Yeah.
I have a camera stand for my phone and shit. I can bring that shit. And I'll buy them little small ass mics and shit. Coming to you, it's like, how are you feeling today? Hell yeah, awesome. All right, yeah. Welcome to that Waffle House. Today we're seeing artist JackMansion and all that shit. Yeah, but that would be dope, dude. I'm glad that you're doing a show, another like an actual like, you know, organized show and shit with you, Ark, and then it's good. It's good for the underground.
Struck on me, and it was like a moment. I was like, bro, fuck, I haven't done a show at a venue before, and I was like, goddamn, this is gonna be crazy. So I mean, if you can't make it, never fear. I'll post the whole thing. You know, we're gonna get these angles, we're gonna get these posts. So
hell yeah,
we'll try to immerse you.
I'll tell you. I'm gonna tell you some stuff after this interview too, relating to some shows. It's wink, wink. But alrighty. So, you know, with that album Bone Rap, right? Do you look to like post like any new albums like this upcoming year? Like, what are you looking like for music this year?
Yeah, I've got a lot of shit cooking right now. Me and Ark have been visiting a lot recently. Is
grinding.
What I'm gonna say.
Grinding.
I've been heading up there quite a bit. So we got some shit. It's not looking like a whole album, but I'm thinking I got some singles pooling around. I got a little EP concept. I got a little EP thing that I'm gonna be announcing shortly. I gotta just some stuff together. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like albums or big projects, it's feels like time. I mean, it's been 2021, so it's been coming up on like 2 years since I dropped Bone Rap. So it's only February, so I guess
the Mansion fans are itching right now.
I know, right? I want to get some. I'm gonna get some EPs, some singles out, but in terms of albums, it's just hard to think because it's like
albums do take a long time. What I've realized,
Bone Rap.
Yeah, it's hard. Speaking like Bone Rap wise, like quality,
right. Like an idea, it'll just come out from somewhere, you know.
Yeah,
it'll hit, and when it hits, it'll be crazy. I've been working with some ambient stuff just for some like school things and doing some like video projects. So that's been kind of fun. But yeah, we'll see. I think my next album, I have to get on production pretty heavy. I haven't produced in a second. I've just been writing and recording. But and
got some good things coming up though.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about that.
Bro, dude, this is that whole. I'm really fucking with the scene down there, dude. Like this is the whole scene. Like over my time, like analyzing the scenes around like the East Coast and Midwest, like Shit's good. Like, it's good, dude.
For real. Yeah, and we got like, I mean, KC specifically, we got some really crazy people down here. Like, it's just, it's starting to feel right. I mean, we got Corey Infinite. We got, I mean, that's the big thing. We can't deny the GOAT, the legend. We just got some crazy people doing crazy things.
Yeah.
But
speaking of Corey, did you model for him for one of his shows? Yeah, tell me about that. Tell me about that.
I would have loved to, but no, yeah, I was like, I was like busy with some stuff, and yeah, I went to like one of his last fashion shows, or the it was a couple months ago, but that was crazy. That was kind of like my, I guess, intro to him. I had like only heard of him on TikTok, and I saw him in the flesh, and I was like,
dude, his clothes is crazy, man.
Yeah, crazy. Right.
Like, he's really unique with it.
And then like Ruby starts talking to him, and it's like crazy. And then all of a sudden, Corey shows up at this party I'm at with these like people from our school, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And then like Ruby shows up to the same, like same type of function with the same people, like a week or two later, and it's just everyone congregated.
Yeah.
I'm like, who I got at this school, and who I got like, up north, and just all of these people I know, and like all met each other through these different avenues, and unrelated, we all kind of have found some sort of a little,
connection. It's like a whole little bubble, yeah. And it's like you got it, and it's really loyal too. Like, you guys have straight like fans that will show up to your venues and shit and watch your shows. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, and to think like where we started with these live shows, we could count on a couple friends, and a lot of the crowd was just made up of people who were also performing. But now we got this, like, I have no doubt this venue's gonna be packed, just with the amount of people that personally have told me they're coming, amount of people that people told like other people, and just like with 12 artists, one gig, it's gonna be a crazy night. But if March 25th means anything to y'all out of state, I'm trying to have something out before then. So,
100%.
Have something drop soon for y'all.
So for, last few questions, bruh, what kind of tips can you give to like upcoming artists?
Ooh. Well, it depends how upcoming. I mean, if you haven't, I was gonna say mastered the craft, but I've not mastered the craft. If you've, first of all, master the craft. Do your best at the craft. The craft is all that matters. But then once you've gotten the craft down, don't forget about. It's not all about the craft. It's all about like. It's equal parts. What I've learned is just, it's equal parts making stuff and equal parts promo, and that's what everyone's saying. But I mean, keeping that in mind, like creatively, you got to do what you want. I mean,
exactly, bro.
God, the amount of times I hop in like GarageBand and just see, or I hop in like whatever in any medium really, and I just like, there's like a little part of me that's like thinking of like other art I like, and you know what I'm saying, and some of it you get down a little bit, and you try to like, you almost want to make things like, a lot of times, especially like with making physical art and going to like museums and seeing stuff like this, it's really easy to look at someone and say, I wish I made that, but like the key is knowing your place is really what it is. You see something, and instead of saying like, I wish I made that, you're like, oh, I love that, you know what I'm saying, but I couldn't have made that. I'm not first name last name, I'm me. And exactly. I don't know, I feel like that's a really important thing, knowing kind of where you reside, but in the same way not getting complacent. You don't want to, with your ideas, that is, like, you don't want to box yourself in and only do one thing.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's fine to have focuses for periods of time, but yeah, just change and lean into the change, and tell the world about the change. Yeah.
Right. And just be you, bruh.
Exactly. Just be you. put you on the surface, and then
Right.
yeah,
Just discover yourself, man.
and then rinse,
you know,
rinse and repeat until they can't get enough.
exactly. And look at
That's
where
the
it's
hard part.
taking JackMansion. Look at where it's taking him.
I'm saying-
And he has shows. Soren, those guys, all you guys down there, you guys just do your own thing.
Yep.
And I fuck with that.
The amount of times I've rinsed and it's still dirty, and I'm like, I'm about to throw this rag out, but no, you keep rinsing and repeating, and I love this analogy. No, yeah, it's the hard work is like feeling like it's paying off, and as someone who I don't feel like, I don't know, it just feels good to see like recognition in this big of a form, with just like putting your like doing what feels right, you know.
Exactly.
This all started really, I mean, I've always been good with Nigel, but New Year's I was with Nigel and I was just talking with him, and we were like dabbing up. We dabbed up when like the ball dropped, and it was just, I had a great New Year's moment, 2023 with Nigel Orv, and since then I was like, bro, we gotta get in the studio. So we recorded. He got me on my shit. He got me like writing, like he like elevated me, and I've been just like, you know, pedaling since, and it's been just crazy little decisions like that, just deciding to, you know, stand, you know, deciding to stand next to Nigel, or deciding to, you know, say like, bro, we gotta record, or just like these little things, and they like, no, all these little moments can like really like butterfly effect into like some crazy shit.
Domino effect into something
It's
crazy.
just insane. It's insane.
It's like, it's the same thing with me, how I led up to this. It's like I never see
Exactly.
myself doing this. Like,
That's
it's crazy.
That just came out of nowhere for me. It was like a random text where like, I got a magazine now. I got a little segment. I was like, what? It's insane.
Dude, it is. And it all comes full circle. It comes full circle, bro. And to the audience, bro, like, just do you, man. Enjoy your time. Live your life. Do what you like to do. We're doing the stuff that we like to do. And we're doing it because we're passionate about it. And that's what's being an artist. 100%.
And that's what it is. You got to find what naturally occurs in your life, in your body, in your brain, and you lean in. That's all you really can do. You can lean in or out, and usually in is the move, I've found. But
yeah. But you find your own way, man. Just find your own way. You build your own path. But, you know, before we close it off, you got any, like, you know, last comments to the audience that you like to say?
I mean, in terms of comments to the audience, you got to do the shameless. So I got a promo, you know. Check me out on the socials. I got a couple play. I got the TikTok.
He has the TikTok.
I got it. I got the Instagram. The Instagram's really the prime stuff. I'd say Instagram and Twitter.
And his art is on Instagram too. Go look that up too. His entire montage of all this art is beautiful. So go.
It's insane. I got these paintings hanging in my class. I'm waiting for the right day to go.
Yes, sir.
Right overcast day to go take some prime pictures. I'll get these posted right away. And it's at 7 JackMansions everywhere. Just the number 7, JackMansions. And then the only other thing is art on Instagram is Jack is a Genius. Just all one word. So yeah, find me there. I've been tweeting my ass off recently. Go show some love. They're kind of funny. Sir. But yeah.
Dude, it was awesome having you on the show, bro. I needed to get you on. I gotta get the rest of the KC Underground. I gotta get the rest. I gotta get Ark. I gotta get all of them, dude.
We did this like test, or what was it? We tried this interview a couple months ago, and it but
it ended up at a right time though.
For real,
right time.
If you would have done it back then, I would have been like, I got one single coming out, and I don't know what's coming up.
Yeah, then you had the collab with Art now, and you have all that stuff. So
we're feeling good. Yeah, perfect. 2 autos. That shit's so fucking good.
Perfect time.
Perfect.
But you know, dude, awesome having you on the show. I want to tell you some cool stuff after this. But to the audience, bro, search up JackMansion. He told you the socials. Go rewind, or I'm gonna beat your ass. And I love you though. Listen to his music. You know, subscribe to the channel and live your life. I love all y'all. Mellow the fuck out.